surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
The 2026 Love Nebraska season is underway, and professional volleyball is back in a big way. From powerful serves to game-changing rallies, every match brings elite competition to the court. See some of the game's top athletes, including Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson, compete right here in Nebraska. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, there's a match for you this season. Explore the full schedule and plan your night out at lovbneb.com/schedule.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln. This is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Coy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black Shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln. Your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back into Old School. Basketball in the first hour. A little hacky, a little puck, a little ozone the second hour. And now back to some Husker hoops, about an hour away from tip-off.
A little biscuit in the basket.
A biscuit in the basket. I'm Austin. He's DP. This is Old School, brought to you by the good folks at Graham Tire Company, who are celebrating 75 years of serving the Midwest. They're more than just tires. They do all kinds of car and light truck repairs, too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. 402-464-5685 DP, we got Nick with boots on the ground up there in Ann Arbor, and he has done some intrepid reporting and done plenty of posting. Shout out to Diode Technologies and the Lincoln Airport for getting him up there, and Mead Minneapolis as well. But according to our own Nick Sainert, Rienk Mast on the floor for warmups for Nebraska. It looks like he's going to attempt to give it a go tonight.
Don't worry, Husker Nation. Whatever's in store for Husker basketball, you're about to get it. Like, not worried about things you don't control. Mm-hmm. Control the controllables. That's that's the start of this thing. Listen, the biggest basketball game in the history of the world, or at least Lincoln, Nebraska today. The biggest basketball game.
Biggest game in program history? Biggest regular season game in program
history?
Biggest
regular season until the next big one, because we know the next
until Sunday.
Until Sunday, until next, and then until the tournament, until the first round of the NCAA. Like, this goes on and on and on and on. But that's the beauty of it, because I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Feed me, Seymour. Give me more. Give me more. I'm like, what about Bob? Give me. I need.
402-464-5685. Get your thoughts, your predictions, your comments, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, even maybe your things you're scared about, right? We can talk through it here, right? We got an hour before Nebraska and Michigan face off at the Chrysler Center in Michigan. DP, I want to go back to something you said in the first hour. I think there's a conversation to be had there. You said something to the effect of, it's all gravy for Nebraska men's basketball tonight. Explain your position. Explain what you mean by that for the folks, please.
So, if anybody that's a part of Nebraska basketball currently, if you said to them 6 years ago, let's go back 6 years ago.
After a disastrous year one.
6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
5 years ago. 4 years ago. 3 years ago. 2 years ago, last year. And October.
Yeah.
November.
December.
Mm-hmm. If you said in December that this team is 20-0, ranked number 5 in the country, and a viable force in college basketball at the top tier, like the key card now goes to the top, to the penthouse level of any hotel in the country.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the room with Arizona and Gonzaga and Duke. They're in the room. Hey, when they walk in the room now, you know what Duke goes, we see you, Nebraska. Tom Izzo was the one that handed you. He said, you know what? Welcome to the club. You belong up here with us. Not everybody does. You do.
You do.
You do.
And it's not just because I like you.
Yep, you do. Found money is the freedom to just play as you would play. It doesn't mean change anything that you've done to this point.
Mm-hmm.
The rules for basketball for Nebraska: defend at the top level, get to space, communicate, take away short things, prevent, allow the most difficult thing to happen for them as often as possible, right? Take advantage. Best shot is most makeable shot in any given situation. If you're not sure, that's not it. Keep it moving. Space is offense, offense is space. All the quotables and coachables. That doesn't change tonight in Ann Arbor. It doesn't change an hour from now. So do what you've done, and you have a path, and you have tendency now to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
This
it's
is
in
a
your
team
DNA
of tendency.
at this point.
It's in your blood now.
Mm-hmm.
Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. You lose Connor Essegian. Do the right thing. No matter who's out there, do the right thing. You lose Braden Frager. Do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Go on the road in the Big Ten and do the right thing. And what happens? Friction happens. You get tested.
Mm-hmm.
You get pushed. You get squeezed. And what'd you do? You got back to who you were. You got back to doing the things that there's a rule for everything. And if you follow the rules, more often than not, you have a better shot of it working out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stress. Don't you dare stress. No chaos allowed. Let's play Husker basketball. And we have a pretty good idea after 20 straight games what that is.
20 straight, not just games, DP, but 20 straight
wins.
W-I-N-Z. We can say it like rings, R-I-N-G-Z, but W-I-N-Z.
Wins, plural.
Wins. 50-86. Shouting out the DP Marathon today from One-on-One Mulberry to here on Old School. Do appreciate it, DP.
Let's get him.
68-34. Doesn't it say something that Nebraska stuck with Fred Hoiberg for 6 years before the success? How many teams do that even after year 3? I would say calling it 6 years before the success is a bit of a stretch. I mean, he made an NCAA tournament in year 5, won a postseason tournament last year. And again, Nebraska was on pace to win 20 games last year. They were 12-2 last year, finishing 5-12. Not the way anyone drew it up by any sense of the imagination. But despite the 5-12 finish, they won the last 4. They springboarded. They handled business in Vegas and handled the recruiting for this year. And it's paid off in such a big way. So I would bristle at 6 years before the success, DP. But I think what's exciting is that this is another step on the validation road, right? Nebraska doesn't need to validate anything to anyone else. They've accomplished a lot already. But I think there's so much more, like you said in the first hour, in store for this program. I think 2 things can be true. Number one, in the context of this season, this game against Michigan, almost regardless of the result, you can take it for what it is, leave it, and move on with it, right? If Nebraska wins, hey, guess what? You did it. That's awesome. This team's going to absolutely celebrate it. You earned a top 5 road win. In a place you've only ever won once before against a team that's number 2 in KenPom right now, and statistically is one of the greatest teams of the 21st century. Cool. This team's going to celebrate it, take it, and leave it. If Nebraska loses, it doesn't discredit anything they did before to this point, right? The season's still on pace. 21-0 is much better than 20-1, but 20-1 is a lot better than 13-8 or 15-6, where Nebraska teams have been before.
5-15.
Or 5-15, where Nebraska teams have been before. But I also think that if we think this Nebraska men's basketball program is legit, which I would argue you and I do, right? Seems like there's staying power here. Seems like Fred Hoiberg has a formula. This game can't just be gravy. If you win it, great. If you lose it, no big deal. It feels to me in some ways like a souped up version of the Illinois game from earlier this year. You mentioned that video we posted out, the DeMarcus Lawrence highlight on the end of it. What was the conversation? Maybe not from us, but from people that we heard, around the area and nationally. Well, man, if Nebraska's able to go on the road and pick this one, great. Good for them. More credit to them. But it's at Illinois. They're really tough. They're really good too. And I think this is where the rubber meets the road for Nebraska, and they probably dropped their first loss here. I get it. This win or this loss can just be gravy. It can be just another game. It doesn't have to be more than what it is. But I also think if Nebraska men's basketball is a program that, number one, takes itself seriously, number two, wants to have other people continue to take it seriously, how you perceive yourself and how you talk about yourself is how you will be talked about. This game is going to mean a lot for the perception of the program.
But remove the brands, because so much of the conversation is the brand.
Mm-hmm.
If you remove the fact that it's 2 versus 5 and it's 1A versus 1C in the Big Ten, in whatever direction it is, that doesn't change.
No.
That doesn't change because Nebraska's 5th in the country because they've earned it. Some would say Nebraska should be higher. The rankings should be flip-flop so that no matter what happens tonight, it's still 2 top 5 teams because we believe it. Everybody behind them, they've beaten already when given the opportunity. So not really an issue. Yeah. Can't say that a road loss in the Big Ten would do that for you. A road win in the Big Ten at a top 5 Michigan. We flipped spots, and now you're really cooking in Crisco, right? Now you're really talking about something. But do you think that Michigan losing tonight changes their goal, their mission, or their path?
It does not.
It does. It absolutely does not. So, you know what you've earned? You know what Nebraska's earned? The right to live the same way. Quite frankly, brandless, do the work. Be responsible for yourselves. Do what we practice doing all the time, right? Play the way we play. We heard Hoiberg at halftime. Let's do us things. Let's do Nebraska things. Do it the Nebraska way. If we do that, we'll be fine. If you do that, you'll be fine. So that's the standard. And all the other pressure that's external doesn't really matter. Yes, we get to ride along, but in that locker room and on that bench, it's them. It's them doing stuff that they've talked about in corners we are not giving privy to, right? So let's just ride along, support them. We'll chill like crazy. this is spectacular just to be able to have the conversation.
And I think this is the right group to meet the moment of a top 5 game on the road. I think it's the right mix of, don't know if they don't know, haven't been there before, enjoying the ride for what it is, but also mature enough to understand there is a bigger picture, to stay locked in on the details. And DP, I think that's a pretty tough mindset to come by. It doesn't happen on its own. It doesn't just appear out of thin air. Kind of feels like, after today, Nebraska will be officially 2/3 of the way done with the regular season. Kind of feels like this is a potential crescendo point. Certainly the next 2 weeks could be a crescendo point of the regular season for Nebraska, with Michigan, Illinois, Rutgers, and then Purdue on tap here in the next 14 days. Kind of feels like program's taking steps and steps and steps. Here's another chance to take another step up.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, the steps, we always say that the game result is the byproduct of the work put in, right? So you don't know, the work's already done. Now you're just showing it off, and you're seeing that it was received. That stays in play. The next step, the steps are already been taken. To get this group to Ann Arbor, Michigan, as the number 5 ranked 20-0 Huskers, you've done the work. So the next step is whatever the next step is going to be. We don't know what the end result is. We can't. But what we can say is what we have is history. We have facts. We have data. We have long data. We have deep data. 20 games worth of this roster playing this type of ball in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Like, we have deep data that on the road in the Big Ten, this group figures out a way, right? Because you just did it at the barn. You face listen, I hate to tell you, the bigger giant in the Big Ten is not Michigan. It's Michigan State. I hate to tell you, you already faced them. What, you scared of Michigan because you already beat Tom Izzo and the legend? You beat the legend. You beat the legend who came into your crib with the purpose of shutting your season down, right? Fail.
You said, no, sir. No, sir.
Fail. Nothing you see tonight is anything you haven't seen before. Nothing. They're going to, we saw the sign. Nick posted the sign. Everybody in the lower leagues, you Ragers, you have to wear blue because it matters. It matters. They need all the sauce. They need all the extra things. Nebraska's taken all the steps required to not only be there and end this conversation, because they've earned the right to be there. Staring Michigan nose to nose. We can do this, bruh. Like, whatever happens, happens. But guess what? Nobody else in the Big Ten gets to be there undefeated against Michigan. Nobody else can say it. Nobody else can talk about it. They've taken the steps. This is just another step. Let's get it.
Nebraska and Michigan just about 40 minutes away from the Chrysler Center up in Ann Arbor. Zach Taylor in attendance tonight, Cincinnati Bengals head coach and longest tenured head coach in the AFC North right now. Shout out Nebraska for that. DP, let's bring this basketball conversation on the court. We'll go to YouTube. Krihas says this team in Nebraska has a great chance if they play great defense, but also Michigan does not have a great defense, at least of late. Maybe Sanford and Lawrence combine for 50 and just get enough from the rest of the team. I know you were talking about it before during one-on-one. Defense travels. Let's start defensively for Nebraska. Your keys for the Huskers in this one.
So when you start to look at the numbers, and I get a little weary about some of the numbers, because the numbers mean what we don't know situation and circumstance. We can't know. We know the end result for Michigan. And then we look at the tendencies and who they're led by. And if Lindenborg is the factor, 14 and a half, close, 7 boards, but you've got several people, 1, 2, 3, that average 7 rebounds a game. Okay, so it means that there's work to be done, right? But if they're boarding, they can't run with you. And you can go big with them or you can go small with them. So here's what we know. Michigan struggles when the opponent does not turn the ball over as much as they do. They struggle. They need the extra possessions. And on a night like this, watch the turnover plus-minus ratio for the Huskers. Because if they're positive in the turnover business, those extra possessions become transition offensive opportunities. Circle it. The number of boards. Look, we know it matters. What we want is to keep Michigan off the offensive board. Like, win the offensive board. Defensively, hey, that's missed shot and that's rebound. No. Do not keep Michigan off their offensive boards. So no turnovers, offensive board. And then praise be to a night where the Huskers win the 3-point shooting battle, because it's going to be close. But the advantage happens, extra possessions, better, more open threes in transition. Those are things. Don't hurt yourself. Get out of your own way and make shots. Make shots. Make shots. Make shots. Those are the three things. Like the turnover thing for me, if Nebraska's not beating itself, we know it's a competitive game.
And Nebraska's done a really good job at taking care of the ball all season long. All year, they have a turnover percentage of just 13.1% on the offensive end, which is number 7 in the country. It's number 2 in the Big Ten at 12.1%. If you look at just the 9 conference games that Nebraska has played, I believe only behind Northwestern, who plays really slow and doesn't turn it over much. Defensively, DP, I think that everything you said applies. Keep Michigan out of transition. This is a team that plays at the 11th fastest tempo in the country, the 4th shortest average possession length in the country, and in the Big Ten, highest ranks. Michigan averages about 71.5 possessions per game and shoots in about 14.6 seconds per possession. Both lead the Big Ten. They play really, really fast. That's what they like to do. They like to throw the outlet pass. They trust their length, their size to get on the break. You think about Elliot Cadeau running the point for them, but Lendeberg can handle. Johnson can take a couple dribbles. Burnett, Gale, Kaysen can all take a couple dribbles as well. Michigan thinks it can control the defensive glass well enough with 1, 2, maybe 3 guys, and they will leak the other guys out, which I think plays into Nebraska's hands in some ways, right? Nebraska kind of eschews offensive rebounding to get back in transition. So I think Nebraska, it's a Michigan strength. They'll probably get Nebraska once or twice, but it's got to be just once or twice. And it can't come in a big moment, right? It can't lead to a Thunder Duncan transition that caps an 8-0 run. That's when I think Michigan could really get things steamrolling. You mentioned turnovers as well, DP. Obviously, Nebraska needs to avoid them. They're good at that. The 2 concerns that I would have looking at Michigan on its offensive end of things is for the last few years, and Dusty May hasn't been there for long. It's not all on him, but this is a problem that this program has had that just kind of predates him. They'll just give it away sometimes. They'll just flip it out of bounds. They'll just miscommunicate. They'll just throw it at someone's ankles or just over their hands. It's kind of inexplicable. And Nebraska's kind of had this like Jedi mind trick voodoo thing going on with opponents. I mean, you forced Michigan State, another team that takes really good care of the basketball, into 19 turnovers. Jeremy Fears, potential all Big Ten, caliber player, potential, best point guard or second best point guard in the league, just dribbles the ball off his leg in crunch time with kind of normal ball pressure. Nebraska's kind of mind tricks and voodoo with Michigan's propensity to just give it away. Okay, there's that there. And then the 3-point shooting, right? You said, Nebraska win it. There's certainly a path there. Michigan shoots 35% from 3 as a team, down to just less than 34% in Big Ten play. Now, you don't let them get hot. I think if you let them hit 9 threes in the first half, you're not going to only be down 6 at halftime like you were at Minnesota. But if you can get high hands, if you can be active like Fred Hoiberg and Sam have talked about at length, get them into the traps, make them dribble to the spots, make them throw passes up and over instead of through, take away, Mara or Johnson rolling to the rim for the alley-oop, and then let the dice fall where they may.
Yeah, this is a game where bigs will have to facilitate on both sides of the ball. And then whatever bigs have the best performance, ball efficiency, purposeful passes into the paint. If it's big to big passing, pay attention. Pay attention, because that means that they're doing it in close space, safer passes. Also means more traffic. So get your hands in, dig, don't reach. That is the Husker gospel tonight. Bigs bring the ball down low. Now we get to work. If it's above the head, leave them alone. Let the bigs be defended. But if they bring it down, which Michigan tends to do, then let Kale and Sam get to work. Jamarcus, let them get to work in the space. Figure if Nebraska is +5 in the turnover deal, those 5 possessions will absolutely impact this game.
Yeah.
But it has to be in that space. If it's above that, wonderful, right? Wonderful. Because then later in games, Michigan has problems at the free throw line late in games, right? This is a 71% shoot free throw team.
Yeah.
And I think that number drops late in games because what happens with big guys late in game? Legs. Legs go.
Get a little tight, not
right.
the ones that usually have it late in games.
It's a little thing. And then it changes their rotation. Because if this game is competitive late, those bigs have to go take a seat. They have to go take a seat. And you got to go small to match Nebraska's defense because you know Kale's going to be out there being a nuisance. You know that Sam's going to be out there being a nuisance. And Jamarcus all the while just as smooth as butter, just out there being in the right place, right time.
I want to talk some more about Jamarcus Lawrence in our next segment. Just to look at Michigan, right? They get their plaudits, and deservedly so, for some of their dominating wins, right? I mean, you beat Auburn by 30, Gonzaga by 40, Villanova by 28, Maryland by 18, USC by 30, on and on down the list. But you also got pushed by Wake Forest, bubbly at best, only beat them by 1 in overtime. TCU, you only won by 4 in a game that you trailed late in that one. And then in Big Ten play, DP, it's gotten tougher for them. Yeah, okay, they blew out Rutgers and Maryland to start the year, and then USC on the road or in the Chrysler Center as well. At Penn State, took some really great late game execution and some really poor late game execution. That's a game Michigan led by 14 points and then only ended up winning by 2. Beat Washington by 10. Hey, guess who else beat Washington by about 10? Nebraska did. Beat Oregon by 10 up in Eugene, a game Michigan trailed at half. Beat Indiana by 14 and then beat Ohio State by 12. Kind of like where this game falls for Nebraska as well, DP. Michigan comes off the high of a rivalry win over Ohio State on Friday, and then they're looking ahead to Michigan State on the road. So you thought Minnesota was a trap game for Michigan. I expect the Huskers to fully have Michigan's attention, but you think in the terms of rivalry, you just got done with Ohio State and you got a Michigan State coming up next. I don't know.
I like the idea that Michigan thinks they know who they are, and they have no idea who Nebraska is.
Sure.
Just remember that. Critical game situations, the rest of the Big Ten, they're familiar. They weren't familiar with Penn State, and it showed up.
Yeah.
I think it shows up tonight.
About half an hour away from tip-off, we'll keep talking Nebraska men's basketball. Let's look at the Husker offense against the Michigan defense when we get back. This is Old School, brought to you by Graham Tire.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. The 2026 Love Nebraska season is underway, and professional volleyball is back in a big way. From powerful serves to game-changing rallies, every match brings elite competition to the court. See some of the game's top athletes, including Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson, compete right here in Nebraska. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, there's a match for you this season. Explore the full schedule and plan your night out at lovneb.com/schedule.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
The 2026 Love Nebraska season is underway, and professional volleyball is back in a big way. From powerful serves to game-changing rallies, every match brings elite competition to the court. See some of the game's top athletes, including Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson, compete right here in Nebraska. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, there's a match for you this season. Explore the full schedule and plan your night out at lovneb.com/schedule.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School. Austin Norman and DP with you. Some big news in football that we can't get to because we got business at hand. Nebraska men's basketball and Michigan. There'll be plenty of time to talk about the football news in the near future. But DP, Nebraska on the offensive side of things. I think I'll say the low-hanging fruit because, you don't want to miss the 3-1 fastball down the middle that you've been sitting on, is it comes down to making three-pointers in a lot of ways, right? It's a make-or-miss league. It's a make-or-miss game. And the one team that's had the blueprint to beat Michigan made 15 threes and still only won by the hair on their chinny chin. That was Wisconsin going into Ann Arbor and taking down the Wolverines by a final score of 91-88. When you think about the types of threes and the players that are going to be shooting those threes from Nebraska, what comes to mind for you in this matchup tonight?
Space. I think I was asked earlier the value of Rienk Mast if he's not scoring points. Space creating.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the best. He and Derek Walker set the tone for setting picks at the top for shooters. Michigan's length, when they go smaller, plays into this thing. Having, three giants out there on the floor changes space. But if Nebraska does what it normally does, and it gives you the 11 three-pointers a game, if that number's 13, 14, that means you got the extra possessions and you had the green light. That Michigan normally gives up 8, but it hasn't been against Nebraska. And I think Nebraska has less fear. Jamarcus and Price really don't think there's a bad three.
Right.
Right. So if they're shooting it and we're in the 4 for 9, 5 for 10, 5 for 11 range for both of them. Oh,
Got ourselves a game.
Oh, we're doing some things, and you're making Michigan make space offensively, which means Rienk, Bear K, they have more space underneath. Here's the thing we haven't talked about. Bear K is going to have to make free throws tonight. Because I think he's going to have an advantage with space posted up in the middle of the floor. The high-low game between Rienk and Bear K. Bear K going soft corner, cutting to the front of the rim, and Rienk being able to give him the ball against a big, and it's one-on-one. They're not going to help because they're afraid of Nebraska shooters. So it's Bear K one-on-one at the front of the rim. And he likes to dipsy doodle and, get the body and all that. If he makes free throws, hey, Bear K, we need a 6 for 8 free throw line. This can't be 6 for 10.
No.
This is a 6. This is a 6 for 8 and 8 for 11. Give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that. Huskers, if they're at 75% of the free throw line, 40 from 3, 50 from the field, again, cook it in Crisco.
Looking at Michigan's starting lineup, I think Elliot Cadeau is going to start at the point for them like he has, and Amari Burnett at the 2. And then it gets really interesting to me, DP. Michigan's toyed around with a couple different starting lineups, and they'll use them both. Maybe the starting lineup's been the same, but the depth chart in terms of percentage of minutes per Ken Pomeroy is a little bit different here. Their most used lineup here over the last 5 games. Just the one that I would expect. Cadeau, Burnett, Yaxel Lendeberg at the 3, Marez Johnson at the 4, and Ade Mara at the 5. The other option, though, is you have Roddy Gale come in at the small forward position, push Yaxel Lendeberg to the 4, and then either Johnson or Mara there at the 5. And I think if we can take this 2 directions, let's say it's the Cadeau, Burnett, Lendeberg, Johnson, Mara lineup. You get Yaxel Lendeberg on Price Sanford. Lendeberg can take over some games defensively, but if he's running, 2 miles, 3 miles per game with all the offensive load that he's asked to shoulder, as long as Nebraska's in it, I think that pays dividends late. And then we get to the big men matchup. Let's say that it's Bear K versus Marez Johnson Jr., and that's the matchup they decide to go with. I like that for Nebraska because guess what? That's Ade Mara in drop coverage against Rienk Mast, who is overdue for another kind of supernova night from 3.
Let him cook.
That would be ideal for Nebraska. The way Michigan might counter that I think would be really interesting is if they put Marez Johnson Jr. on Rienk Mast and Ade Mara on Bear K Buyuktanjel. That would be a Bear K prove it game. That'd be a Bear K, knock 1 or 2 down and then make the next right play game. And maybe Nebraska would go to the inverted sort of thing they did with Bear K as the trail guy and then Rienk in the kind of dunker spot, just to get that matchup set up right. I forget who that was against. I think it was Oregon. They did that in the second half as they switched Bear K and Rienk's offensive positioning, because I think Michigan is going to dare Bear K Buyuktanjel to take some shots in a lot of ways, which is where Bear K being confident stepping into it goes a long way. Bear K not getting overconfident and making the next right play, do an extra dribble handoff to Jamarcus, because the other area, DP, that Nebraska likes to swear off and I think could be important is in that Jamarcus Lawrence and Price Sanford mid-range game. Michigan is the number 1 2-point defense in the country, or maybe number 2, number 1 according to Ken Pom. Teams only shoot 41% from 2 against them. They block about 16.5% of opponents' shots per 100 possessions. Both really good numbers. You talk about space. How do you get Mara away from the rim? How do you not challenge him? Nebraska doesn't like the mid-range, but if Jamarcus can hit a couple mid-rangers early, hit a couple big ones to get Nebraska going against Minnesota, if Sam's not afraid to hit a floater, if Sanford can come off a screen with Lendeberg trailing him, take that extra dribble in, you got to go get at the shot blocker enough. And I know Nebraska doesn't like the mid-range. It's not the quote-unquote efficient shot. But if there's ever a time or place for it, you got to knock down a couple of those elbow jumpers tonight, I would think.
But the best player at mid-range? Kale.
Ooh, Jamarcus has been pretty automatic.
Listen, they're gonna put their top defender on Jamarcus to keep that mid-range game in place. They will help off Jamarcus. They are not going to help off Kale. Kale's going to get some one-on-one action. If he can get a shoulder by somebody, get into space, be strong in the paint, pull up jumper, fade, maybe some alley-oop action with Bear K. I think you're right in that they probably switch Rienk and Bear K. Bear K becomes a facilitator at the top. You want less wear and tear on Rienk Mast tonight, so you put him soft corner, and you can run your elevator from there, get him up there into space, let him post up, baby, hook him to death, right?
Maybe.
Into space, right? Less running on the legs. But look, when you look at Michigan's top 5, they only play 23 minutes, right? So that's also a thing. Minutes on the floor. If you can force Michigan to kind of cut minutes from that second 5, oh, well, here we go. Nebraska's prepared to run. They talk about pace. That's why they use 10 players.
Yeah.
But can you get the same production with the second 5? And we don't know that. We don't know that. They play a different game. Different game with that 5 on the floor. We will watch and see. I like the idea that pace will matter. But it's at the end of the pace what happens that matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how quickly you get into your system, because that extends the defensive effort, right? So now I got to defend for 20 seconds instead of 12. And 4 or 5 possessions down, that impacts. But Nebraska has the ability in the space with their ball action to eat some of those 8-second intervals against Michigan, and then you'll see. At home, are they willing to defend that way for 23 minutes a game? And I don't think they are.
It remains to be seen. It really does. I think Michigan has gotten by in some cases with its length, right? Just being bigger, faster, stronger than its opponents. And I think a disciplined team could find plenty to take advantage of, like a team like Wisconsin did. Bielauskas was a big part of the story, but so were John Blackwell and Nick Boyd, had big games at the guard position for that Wisconsin team. Got a couple people asking, are we sure that Rienk Mast is going to play? What's the latest with him? Are we sure we're going to?
How do we know?
We won't know for the next 20 minutes or so, but the impression that I have gathered from folks that I trust is that Rienk Mast is and others. Nick is our first-hand source, and some others in the building as well, is that Rienk Mast is certainly under the weather, might not look entirely himself, but is certainly going to give it a go tonight. What that means, what that looks like, in what form or fashion remains to be seen. DP, how much of maybe a galvanizing effect is there when you know that your leader, your linchpin, is under the weather, but he's giving it a go? What can that do for the mentality of this Nebraska team?
It's us. It's all we got. It's all we got. Here we go. Like, this is what we're talking about, and we want to be clear. Everybody understands the meaningfulness and the importance of tonight. You have what you are. It's every moment that you've dreamed about. Every player wearing red tonight. This is what they dreamed about. They literally dreamed of this.
Football says that this is why we came to Nebraska, to play in big games. Hey, guess what? Same can be true for basketball.
This is why you go through the stuff you go through. This is why you make the sacrifice. This is why you put up the 200 and 300 shots a day. This is why you take care of your diet, and hopefully, it doesn't upset you. This is why you do it. So then you go all in. You get a little closer. You get a little tighter. It can activate a thing where you're better. You do less better. It can activate that. You see it happen in football with new quarterbacks, where, you know what, we're going to tighten the playbook a little bit. We're going to ask a little less of everybody. We're going to do what we do well consistently.
Well, maybe less broad, but certainly deeper, right?
Well, you know what you can do in the space. If you need to get more shots from Price, you know how to get him those shots. If that's taken away, then it's the next thing. DeMarcus, let's get him in space. Bearcake, can we get you under the bucket? Sam, can you dribble drive? Can you be in triple threat? Can you give us the kick to the open shooter? All with the idea that they can knock it down. If they're not knocking it down, then I need you to go to the free throw line and knock down some cheapies. Rienk, do what you do. He can stand there off the pick and roll and knock down jumpers. Like, that's not a strength. That's not an energy thing. That's you just having it together enough to knock down threes. There's a way. You just do less better.
Yeah. Just about 15 minutes away from tip. Nebraska, ranked number 5 in the country, on the road at number 3 Michigan. Game number 21 of the season for the Huskers. Of course, they're sitting at 20-0 and 9-0 in the Big Ten Conference. Bruce Davis, you've done a great job chiming in on YouTube. Really appreciate you and your engagement. Corey, you're back. Good to see you. Cyber Steve as well. We'll go to break. We will wrap up Old School, get you set up for ticket weeknights, including Nebraska men's basketball post game around 8 o'clock. That's next here on The Ticket.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
The 2026 Love Nebraska season is underway, and professional volleyball is back in a big way. From powerful serves to game-changing rallies, every match brings elite competition to the court. See some of the game's top athletes, including Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson, compete right here in Nebraska. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, there's a match for you this season. Explore the full schedule and plan your night out at lovneb.com/schedule.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, 10 minutes to go. Nebraska and Michigan just around the corner. And some late breaking news, DP. No Rienk Mast in the starting lineup. Not a comment on his availability, still listed as questionable, made it through at least some of warmups. But it'll be Cale Jacobson getting the start in place of Rienk Mast. So Lawrence, Hoiberg, Sanford, Jacobson, and Boyuktengel, your starters for number 5 Nebraska on the road at number 3 Michigan.
Okay. Next, it's Cale up. And we talked about what he brings to it. We know what he brings to it. Changes the way that Michigan defends. Those bigs in space. They'll have to adjust their offense to get bigs, the ball, some high-low action from them. But Cale's physical, and that's the thing. And there's some steals and things in place. So let's have at it, Cale Jacobson. Let's have at it. Go off.
Let's
go off.
Let's tip our cap to Cale Jacobson, spot starter for Nebraska tonight. I would guess then, DP, that if Rienk Mast plays, you probably see Mast and Garcia off the bench for your 7. Or if, Mast can't go, he gives it a shot, and then that's it. Maybe this is the Kendall Blue moment. I think he would be the next man up in that rotation. That's a young man who's gotten plenty of plaudits for his work in the locker room. He's been a good veteran presence for this team. Next man up mentality might stretch down to Kendall Blue, who I thought was a pretty prized offseason transfer.
Yeah, and we saw a flash late Minnesota game, right, to come in and feel like you were comfortable enough to knock down a 3, get to the right place and right space. I'll reiterate, I am a huge Cale Jacobson fan. We got to watch him here in high school, and we got to watch him get in space, and he was an electric scorer. An explosive defender. He got in the right spots, and then he brings juice to the table. Can he do it for 24 minutes?
Right.
That's where the question is. What do you get from Garcia? Okay, sir, you're needed. Step up. And then how many minutes can you get from Rienk? Can you get any minutes from him, and what kind of minutes?
Reports from the Chrysler Center, Rienk Mast did not come out with the team for the last 2 sessions of warmups. I don't know if that's something. I don't know if that's nothing. That could be emergency. That could be, okay, got to handle business in there before I can handle business out here. Or it could be, hey, you know what? I've lost a lot of fluid. I'm not feeling my best. Let's get one last round of Tylenol. Let's get one last IVM. So I'm going to withhold judgment on what that means. No Rienk Mast in the last couple rounds of warm-ups for Nebraska here moving forward. DP, let's put the positive vibes back in the air here. Nebraska, Michigan, say the Huskers get it done. What does that win mean for the program and the team?
Well, I'm going to read a post from Kent Pavelka. This season is way bigger than this game, but this game is beyond any English language adjective that I can summon. That's how big this is. It's not everything, but it's bigger than anything we've talked about. It's not everything, but we said, my thing is, everything is getting here. Everything after it is different, but everything is getting here. 20 wins, getting here. Number 5 in the country. You don't throw that away.
No.
You're number 5 in the country. You've got 20 wins in your season,
and not just by default,
right? You earned it. You earned it. 21 is gonna sure taste really good. It'll taste really good.
About 5 minutes away from Nebraska and Michigan from up in Ann Arbor. DP, appreciate you hanging out for a couple hours.
Well, I'm going to hang around for the next few. Sit back and watch this game. I'm supposed to do a Zoom call with some folks to talk about this game. And then post-game, we'll hang around and see what comes to the table. Sir?
We'll be here for it.
Dub City.
Let's talk about it.
Dub City.
Can't wait. Big thanks to Graham Tire Company. They're celebrating 75 years of serving the Midwest. More than just tires, they do all kinds of car and light truck repairs, too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. Don't go anywhere. Full lineup of ticket weeknights comes your way. Husker basketball post game then at 8. Talk to you soon.